So what does that where does that fit in terms of how you do these sorts of things when you're working out what what's coming up next and what to do? Because as an investor, that's the whole thing that you get surrounded by, which is what can I currently see? How can I interpret that information that I can see currently? And how can I piece together these puzzle pieces and where is it likely to go? And when you work out the think tank, the main think tank's World Economic Forum, and it's no secret what they want to get to, and it's no secret that Andrew Tate is very much on the pulse of what they're trying to do, along with some of the big guys. Joe Rogan has spoken about it. Jocko Willink has spoken about it. Jordan Peterson has spoken out about it. Andrew Tate has spoken out about it. These guys are really, really on the pulse of what's going on. And the main thing for you to be mindful of is that these guys aren't sitting there with a tin hat talking nonsense or being controversial or going out trying to say, hey, look, let me just get views. Nothing could be further from the truth. Keep focused on you being able to have the choice. Don't fall into the trap. And when you're doing these little investigations, just try and argue both sides. How I would argue this is there any issues with central banking? So what's the pros for central banking? One authority that removes interpretation of the rules. One place that reduces the transaction costs and reduces the amount of staff that's required, lowers the transaction fees. It creates transparency. It means that there's a more efficient way of doing it, and it could solve a number of problems. What's the other side of that? It's the invasion of privacy, because unfortunately with one institute having all the information means that transparency also removes a great deal of privacy. The second thing is that if it's one institute, you don't have a competition of people trying to compete. And some of the places that we've seen that is in the Soviet Union, where you have no choice. You can only transact with one organisation, and that is a bit of a problem, because where do you go if you don't like it? And when you have one body, it means that they can write the rules, and whether you like them or not, what can you do? And that's the issue that we see here with the central banking piece, is that if we are not going to push back and we're not going to say, hey, this is enough, then we just leave the door wide open for them to push further rules, further infringements on your privacy, removing the choices that you have. Can you pay cash? Can you pay by card? And so on. And I mean, even things like, call me nostalgic, but imagine, in Scotland we have a tradition where there's a wedding and the married couple throw out coins, and the kids all scramble in to pick up the coins and see what they can earn out of the scramble. Giving kids a birthday card. It's a birthday and you want to stick some money in the card. I thought it was great. As a kid growing up, you would open up the card and some money would fall out. Giving a tip to somebody that's giving you great service. How would we do these things? It's everything's tracked, everything's logged. You would need to fall into line with whatever rules that they set. And bearing in mind, the central bank isn't part of the government, so you're talking about an institute that's out with normal government rules. So these are some of the issues that I see, and a lot of the people ask me about Andrew Tate, and I think reviewing the information that he's put out there, I think that he's actually on point, and doing little episodes like these is important, because I was asked about inflation and what had happened and where I think interest rates are going to go. And around 18 months ago, I'd done an interview where I went over all the things that would happen, all the information that we discussed, all the actions that were going to be taken. And you know what baffles me now, and it baffles me now that people will ask me now, what I was explaining to them 18 months ago, but 18 months ago they weren't interested because like, hey, everything's rosy. Why bother? You know, you're crazy. What are you talking about? Nothing's going to change. Good times, yeah. And then 18 months later, they're like, oh, I can't believe this has happened, and I had no clue. I'm like, the clues were everywhere. And those same situations, just like we'd seen 18 months ago, those same situations, there is more of them happening now, just like the cash. Hey, look, I'm happy to pay cash. I don't want to use card. I want to use cash. It should be my choice. And we have legal tender. If you want to operate here, conduct business, these are what you should be using. So we want to preempt what is coming, be aware that we have the choice, be aware that we have the power to do something about it. But most of all, don't fall into the trap where you turn around and go, I never knew. Because people out there have been telling you, and even if you love him or hate him, Andrew Tate was right.